What is up, boxing world? It is Boxing Vibez TV coming right back at you. Give me the best boxing analysis on YouTube, Spotify, Stitcher, you name it. We rough and rugged and raw out here. So let me go ahead without further ado. Let me introduce the crew. We got JD.
You already know it's 8-1 Trey all day.
We got Q in the building.
What's good, people?
And we got yours truly, the moderator of this here. That there, madness. All right, man. So JD, go ahead and give us what we want, what we need, and that is the pod quote of the day.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all the pod quote of the day. And this one, I'm gonna take it back to one of our favorite fighters of all time, and we gonna dig back in the bag of Muhammad Ali. And the quote goes as this: "I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion."
Damn right.
By Muhammad Ali.
I hear no lies.
Hear no lies with that one, huh, man?
All right, so one more task, man. If the people haven't done it yet, go ahead and tell them what to do.
Hey, and if you haven't done it yet, if you're down with the vibes, hit the notification bell and subscribe.
Do that.
Like button, plug in.
All that.
All right, so we're going to jump straight into it, right? This year has been, these past 2 years going on, has been pretty strange for boxing, right? We've been craving big fights. But I do have a question for y'all before we get right into the topic. Has there ever been a women's super fight? A female super fight where it's just like, I mean, and you cannot say Jackie Frazier versus Layla Ali. That doesn't count. Two different talent levels. The last names sold that fight. Ali was clearly in a different stratosphere. So, just I mean, we got Clarissa Shields out there. I know she's a gold medalist, and so that alone is a big time accomplishment. She's been very dominant. But I was thinking about the topic. I can't. So go ahead, fellas. Y'all know of any that's on your radar? I mean, you got
honestly, Jackie Frazier. The Jackie Frazier Layla Ali fight was the one that was gonna come to mind, but I know it wasn't a major.
I ain't gonna lie to you, brother. That would have been the one I would have said, bro. Straight up,
right.
Straight up.
I only say that to get into the actual big topic. Will Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano?
You got to speak up a little louder, brother.
Okay, you not hear me? I'm sorry about that. Will Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano be the first women's super fight in boxing? Go ahead, Q.
Absolutely. That would be the biggest in the world. The biggest that it has been to this point. And I didn't know that Amanda Serrano was a 7-weight division champion.
What?
Closest thing to Pacquiao.
It's crazy. It's Pacquiao, her, and then De La Hoya was 6. Mayweather 5. Like crazy. So that would definitely be a big, and sound like Eddie Hearns pretty much was singing that tune, you know, after Katie Taylor's last fight. So I think so, man.
That's a fight I'm excited for. Before I let you go, G, I will say the only super fight that was on the horizon now, I know we were debating about, is Layla Ali coming out of retirement to fight Clarissa. So I thought you might have mentioned that as a potential. But go ahead, JD. Let's hear your analysis.
Most definitely, man. That would end up being one of the that would be the fight of all fights when it comes to women's boxing, because as we talked about, before, we've had different women reach peaks, but we never got two women at the same time to get in the ring with each other, and they're both at their peak. You got an Amanda Serrano who's sitting here with 30 knockouts. And to Q's point, man, I did what you just said, bro. 7 divisions.
Man, that blew my mind, bro.
And you're talking about 30 knockouts. So you're talking about a lady who is really, she needs some respect on her name, because she really is at this point the closest thing to the female version of a Manny Pacquiao, coming from such lighter weights and just blasting people. I mean, and you got to give respect to Katie Taylor.
Undefeated.
Yeah, right. And you got to give respect to Katie Taylor. I think Katie's at this point. I think I might have read somewhere where is she on like maybe 4 fights in like the last year and a half. This last fight that just happened, I believe.
Wow.
Because she fought Natasha Jonas.
Okay.
She fought. I forgot who else she
Definitely
fought.
Pursued last year.
Pursued. And then there was another girl. There
Nope.
was, I think, Gutierrez or something. There was another girl in between that.
Yeah.
You know, so you got a Katie Taylor who's staying as active as she is, coming, you know, up
and
against.
Remember, she already fought Caskiller. She already had fought and beat Jessica.
Right. Exactly. Before, so
which is the undisputed champ.
So to your question, J Box, I'm gonna have to say straight up, man, most definitely this would absolutely be the largest fight in women's boxing history, man. I can't wait. I hope Eddie Hearn makes this happen.
So this spirals.
Amanda Serrano had lost one fight. My bad. She not.
Just one.
So
41-1.
It spirals into. It has so many tentacles. So will the winner of this fight then be the GOAT? Would they just be the number one pound for pound right now?
You want to be messy, bro?
Well, I'm just saying,
it's real messy.
It's only one voice, man. We got to find some words, ways to say something.
If we're gonna talk about the men and be so aggressive, how we say, "Oh, this person's a person to beat in that division," oh, they can't claim title.
Well,
we're gonna argue as passionate about Pacquiao and Mayweather. We might as well go ahead and get down and dirty when it comes to the ladies, man.
They are in different divisions, man. They ain't the same division. There's a lot of different divisions. It's divisiveness in the division.
But to your point though, I'm not gonna lie. If Amanda Serrano wins, she would have a legitimate claim to GOAT status. I gotta keep it real. If Amanda
pound for pound shit, definitely, you know,
she would definitely have a claim to that title, man. I'm gonna say that straight up.
Now you brought
shout out to my buddy Eagles out there, man.
Hey, Q, do you have any more else on anything else on it? Because I got one last question.
I mean, it is what it is, man.
One last question.
She would definitely be the pound for pound, probably the greatest female boxer ever. 7 weight classes, and then she'll have with 30 knockouts.
And not to mention, she might not knock out Katie Taylor, but I'm a say it right now. She's gonna shatter that Christy Martin record. I think Christy's at 32 KOs.
Yeah, like she'll be.
Amanda Serrano's gonna easily
get
past that 32 KOs, man. So yeah, she might be on GOAT stats, man, but Katie Taylor might be too.
Well, it's gonna be
okay. So that's then brings me to my next question, fellas. Who wins?
Ooh,
that's a wins, bro. I don't even. That's
who wins?
Matter of fact, I didn't even know they're in the same weight division. I didn't. Who gonna have?
They're come up. They're close enough.
They're close enough to make the fight.
They'll make it. Okay, because Katie Taylor bigger, right? So I don't have to.
Katie Taylor's bigger.
Come up a little bit. But bro, what it is? She come up. That'll be 8 divisions, bro. If she come up, that would be. I don't want to talk about
who you got. Who you got, bro?
Man, that'll be. I don't even know, bro. I'll be pulling for Serrano though.
Yeah,
I can't call that one because I was thinking she was a lot smaller than Katie Taylor, so that's why I would be like, "Yeah, she too small." But I didn't know they was that close in weight.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna say this, man. I personally think I'm gonna roll with Amanda Serrano in this one, and the reason why I'm gonna roll with Amanda Serrano is because as good as Katie Taylor is, right? As good as she is, I don't think she's gonna knock out Amanda Serrano. Looking at what Katie Taylor's done in the past few fights, she's top pound for pound, but I feel like Amanda can match her with the skill, and I feel like Amanda might have a little bit of that baby tank in her, as on the woman's side, where when you have that many, you know she got power. You know she got power.
How many knockouts Katie Taylor got?
I think like what?
4? 8? 4 or 5? Yeah, it's so much. Yeah,
it's not double digits.
Oh no, it's not. No, it's not double digits. Y'all look that up. Y'all look that up while I'm talking, man. Nah, it's not double digits.
Well, fact check.
Yeah, go ahead, fact check that right quick. So I think when you couple Amanda Serrano's ability to utilize her skill along with the power that she possesses, man, I think it makes for a very intriguing fight for Katie Taylor to try to figure out. 6 KOs. So you kind of know that Katie doesn't really have devastating power like that, although she could probably maybe outbox Amanda to get to a decision. But I'm not gonna lie, because of the power and the skill that Amanda has, man, in a dicey close one, I'm going with Amanda by decision.
I think I'm gonna go the other way and go Katie Taylor by decision. It's her weight class. They meet in her weight class. I think she's. I can't speak for Serrano's competition level. I can for Katie Taylor's. So that'll be
that's the one. That's the one thing because I'm thinking about a Daphne Bassoon fight, man.
Yeah, right. So that'll be the one thing where we see where are these 41 fights against quality opponents, because as we know, it's a little it's different in the women's division as the men's division, where there's competition and depth at every division, but it more so the women's side of things you find at the lighter weights, which is why Clarissa can't really get the fights and make the fights she wants to make. This is no knock on Clarissa now. She wants these fights, but it's just hard to find somebody who's on her level at her size.
Hey, let me throw this in there too. And this is a future super fight, but we're probably about 2 years from this fight. And that is Clarissa versus Savannah Marshall. That's another one. We're 2 years away, but that's coming too. If Savannah Marshall can get a string of victories under her belt, that's coming in about 2 years.
And that's brewing, but I think they're really trying to lay the groundworks, and Clarissa better watch out. She's, dabbling in MMA, and she's not really on her game when it comes to boxing.
Allegedly.
Boxing is a perishable skill. You know what I'm saying?
Allegedly.
Well, I got to see her in the ring, man, because
you definitely got to see her in the ring.
People can you sleep, rabbit in the tortoise in the hair, right?
Right.
He eats so much better. Get calm and take a nap. Boom. Next thing you know, all right, you see somebody crossing the finish lines, taking what was yours. So hopefully, man, we can see the quote back in there. But great discussion, fellas, and hopefully we get to see these two gentlemen in the ring. And I am speaking of Terrence Bud Crawford and a one Showtime Shawn Porter. Purse bid, this bid. Who knows? Auction. Well, I don't know what the hell's going on. I just want to know what most fight fans want to know. Will they actually get in the ring? And I only ask this question is because JD said something that was very interesting. He said, yeah, they could make a purse bid, but I mean, Shawn still has the agree to fight because now that I think about it, Shawn doesn't have any belts.
Right. Exactly.
So, what does a purse bid mean to him? Go ahead, Q. Let me hear what you got to say.
He might not have no belts, but he gonna get a switch put on his ass. You know what I'm saying? You sign that paper. It's just like when your mom and dad say, hey, go get me that damn switch. And you better not bring back. Matter of fact, get your sister to go get it. Y'all was just arguing. Go get it. That wasn't gonna happen. So it's on him.
Will we see it, JD?
I hope we see it, brother. I hope we see it. I think Ed Hearn just said he's gonna bid on it, so it's gonna be some active people trying to make it happen, man. But I can't commit to wrench in the game. I can't commit on. I can't commit.
Hey, I'm gonna say this after what Eddie Hearn just said, I think we do see it because now that people are talking about throwing money at it, and other people other than Bob are talking about throwing money at it. I think it sort of backed Shawn Porter into a corner to where if enough money gets thrown on the table,
he's gonna be Shawn Porterhouse.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Well done.
You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, Shawn Porter, I feel like he's gonna get back into a corner where what you gonna do, bro? You gotta take that money because if he walks away from a couple mil, I mean, people gonna look at Shawn like, bro, you talked all that about no money being there, and now Eddie, Bob, or whoever put money on the table and you walk away. So I think we get it now because other promoters are putting pressure on the fight. Straight tampering, might I add. Eddie out here just
but is it the most corrupt sport? So that's not tampering.
Yeah, I mean, if tampering is the least of our worries. I mean, I'll say this. I hope we see the fight. I think we will see the fight, but I don't think we get it this year. I think negotiations are going to drag on, and we might get it at the top of the year or sometime in February. We're definitely. I'd be shocked if we get that fight this year. If we do, better for boxing fans. At least we have, multiple big fights. And I'm counting Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury and Usyk and Joshua actually happening. So
you're right about that because at this point, by the time it really gets hashed out, at earliest December. So you're probably right.
Right.
It'll probably be pushed into the top of next year.
Right. So I mean, you know, boxing is gonna do what boxing does, rob the fans. You know, boxing is a funny thing, man. They give us little, you know, crumbs, and we're like, oh man, best crumbs I ever had, and it's like, man, it could be so much better, man. Right? We could be enjoying life like MMA fans, seeing the best competition, but we true to this. So, but to test y'all knowledge, I have a question. Who's the only active fighter with 14 straight knockouts? No cheating. No
14
cheating.
straight?
Hey, hold up, time out. I said no cheating. That's just a segue to connect the with. First connect the with, because I know y'all ain't know that shit. First connect the with. I bring this up because of Oscar Valdez. Connect the with Oscar Valdez should have been suspended by the WBC. Go ahead, Q.
You're motherfucker right. I said.
So I take that as a connect.
That's a connect. West side.
Hey man, I'm gonna say the same thing, man. Forget about all the particulars. That's a connect, man. It was a violation of VADA testing, and at the end of the day, he should have been suspended, just like anybody else.
It's very disrespectful to VADA. You know what I'm saying? For you to just supersede their judgment or they call. You know, that's fire, and it's favoritism. It's a whole lot of things.
And the thing about it too is, just to throw this in there too, VADA and WADA. I know we got all these doggone acronyms going on. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, VADA, if WADA says that it's not a performance enhancing drug, cool. But then that means that y'all need to update your
list.
Yeah, update your list. And if
matter of fact, what camp did this man came out of? Who did he train with?
Clenbuterol Reynoso camp.
Reynoso. Yeah. Okay. So anybody else name start in with an O that's in the camp?
Canelo.
You know, and it escapes me. Hey, so I do have a question about this, right? And this is just we're going off the rails real quick. Has Canelo ever actually said what he's not going to do anymore to test positive for clenbuterol?
Ooh, I'm glad I don't know about that.
Has he said, oh, okay, I'll watch what I eat, but what does that entail? There's no, I don't know. I've never lived in Mexico, but I don't know their FDA laws where does it say clenbuterol infused meat on the top, so you don't. And if it did, why'd you eat it anyway? So, but anyway, I'm getting to a larger point that says, hell yeah, he should have been suspended. It's two.
He said he's gonna start eating nothing but Caleb plants.
He going vegan. He going vegan.
The word is, I didn't see this, but word is he said that. I imagine Caleb Plant been talking a lot about his failed drug test, and word is he said that if he keep it up, he gonna pull out from the fight. Bro,
he ain't say that. He ain't say that.
He didn't say that.
Well, I'm about to dig back, but I have seen.
Listen, I saw a headline like that, and that's what it was.
I saw a headline.
I wasn't really looking into it because I don't want to hear nothing but no, press conference when we getting that. So I kind of dismissed it, but I did see like a headline.
The only reason I'm giving the legs because I think my man, what my man name is? He backed away from the fight. What's the guy name, man? Nito Danette. He backed away from the fight because the guy said somebody's wife. And they're like, bro, that's when you tighten his ass up. You don't pull away from a fight because somebody's talking about your people, bro. That's when that's motivation. So
but also
Canelo didn't say that.
If in that case, of course, I would assume Nonito had the name. You don't give a guy payday. That's the biggest way to hurt him. You don't give a guy payday. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you was gonna make 150K off me? Nah, bro. I get it somebody else, and I still win to keep it moving. So the chances are nobody's ever heard of that guy because you just said he backed away from
fight fan don't hear that bullshit. Get in there and break his mouth off.
Right.
So he can't eat a payday candy bar.
There's two ways to hurt him in their pocket and then in the
ring. So. But you let the financial lawyers, you let IRS do that. You break his face.
Right. So I mean, to make it a unanimous decision, I mean, part of performance enhancing drugs, they ban them because it gives you an unfair advantage, like cutting weight, right? And so I get the controversy. It was this on that list. It's just, I know Jarrell Big Baby Miller got caught with a number of things, and one of them was to help cut weight. And that's what clenbuterol does. It cuts fat and increases muscle. So if that's not your weight class, or you're going to be too drained, I mean, that's what you signed up for. That's your weight class. And so I don't think you should be able to fight with having such a competitive advantage, and maybe you not having you have some stimulant, some form of advantage. And until it's fully reviewed, man, anyway.
And the thing about it, right quick, man, before we go to the next one, the last thing I'll say about it is with this particular drug, at first, I'm not gonna lie, because this particular drug, it pretty much increases your stamina. So it sounded to me from what I got is like, it's like Adderall beyond Adderall, right? Where it's some type of drug where he pretty much could train all damn day. Like that.
You know that's bullshit, man. People lives on the line. You can't.
Right.
Like there's a girl that just passed, 18-year-old fighter out of Mexico who just passed in the last 2 weeks. You can't, for the sake of money, man. It's a bullshit racket sometimes. Kids, if you want to grow up to be boxers, don't. But anyway, as we move on to the next connector with Deontay Wilder's putting together enough montages of him working out that might make Stallone pissed off. Like he might be jealous. Like, but the only thing we're missing is music playing in the background. Last montage we saw he was training in the water and he benched 350 pounds.
Shark in the water.
Yeah, benched 350 pounds.
Godzilla.
Are you impressed by this, or you kind of just like, okay, we've seen enough Rocky workouts. When are we fighting, and when are you actually going to produce? Now, we know that's October 9th, but at the same point in time, we've got some insider information. And then the question is what you're doing working in sparring? Go ahead, JD. I'll let you take it first.
I'm gonna say it's a connect, and I'm gonna tell y'all why it's a connect for me, man. Because I can see how people are getting a little bit tired of the videos and the different montages of all this stuff that they probably like, man, what's that gonna do to help you against Fury? But I think when you take an L like Deontay did, it's really about mindset. It's really about him restoring that mentality that he's willing to go in the ring and do all that he can to get Fury out of it. So I love it, and it's a connect for me simply because I'm looking at it from just a mindset perspective. And not to mention, I'm still gonna rep Deontay, man. At least, this fight, you know what I mean? Let me show this right quick, from the dog Q when we you see that right there, bro?
You know what I mean? I got mine laminated weight.
You know what I'm saying? So go ahead, what you got with the Q?
Yeah, same thing, bro. You know what I'm saying? One thing we always said about Wilder for the longest long time was we need to see you get back to the basics, do the fundamentals. We need to see you working. That's what he's doing. I know people ready. The fight supposed to happen already, and people are a little weary. Maybe he's sharing too much. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he's sharing too much with the general public, but he doing what was asked of him. I like it. I want to see you in the water. I want to see you everywhere, because ain't no telling what you have to go through to get this dub. So I want to see him in every position, I just want to see them hands a little higher. You know what I'm saying? But I love the body work. Matter of fact, I just posted some on the IG, or even newer one than what we talking about. I ain't too impressed with the benching the 350 pounds.
I wish it was impressed by that. 350
100 squat something, man. We need to work on the legs a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see,
speaking of though,
do some squatting. But
I follow you.
I'm good with it.
Listen, we can't give any names and people and all that. We do have a little insider information, right? We a sparring partner was tested to the fact that Deontay Wilder wasn't touching him, which speaks to maybe, how useful is all this. But I go to one thing. There's one guy that's really quiet, if you guys haven't noticed, and there's one guy who seems to be brimming with confidence. So I'm impressed. I'm impressed because he's putting the work in and he's saying it with his chest. Some guy had COVID and then said he was going dark on social media, like he needed to focus. And so I think one of the things that can be drawn from that is that one fighter's like, this is what I want you, and I'm gonna get this, and I'm gonna get you out of it. Another fighter's like, wait, I might be dealing with a completely completely different animal. Let me focus. So I do like it. I'm impressed because it seems like Tyson Fury is checking for Wilder's videos as well. And that's just my point to it. But we're going to move on to the last one. And speaking
Hold on, real quick, let me just say something. Did y'all see after it was a video they had a press conference somewhere, but after they had them screaming to the top of their lungs like it was about to go down. And they were like, this was after the press conference was over. When the camera stopped.
It was going at it, yeah.
Yeah, like I never saw that. Y'all saw it?
Yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
But I just like seeing, because I didn't like the headphone Wilder without, I like seeing he's in the space. I want to hear that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's all.
And that does change the perception of the headphones too.
Right. I understood that part also, because there wasn't nothing you could really say at that point.
Moving on to
not a fight sign. I'm on the way, huh?
No, I'm saying as we move on, is speaking about perception. How do you perceive Caleb's chances now that SOG is counseling him? Connected with that will make a difference. Go ahead, Keith.
Ooh, man, to connect, super connect, man. I love it. I love it. SOG in the building. You know what I'm saying? He's finna give him some game, and I think Caleb Plant has the right tool set to implement what my man give him. So I'm ready to see this. I'm ready to see it. I like it.
Go ahead, JD.
Man, I'll tell you right now, this is a whiff for me, man. It's a whiff because, man, all I see is SOG trying to vicariously live through Caleb Plant because SOG really don't want to come back. He'd love to, but he really doesn't want to. But he's really itching to get in there and fight Canelo. So through Caleb Plant, he gonna try to give him a couple of tools and tips. But I just am one of those people. I don't believe in one training camp or yet a matter of only weeks you can really take somebody's skills that they want to give you and really, really employ them fully, not in one training camp. That's just my belief.
I gotta second that, just because, and maybe I'm not being disrespectful to Caleb Plant. I'm just being realist about it. He has zero chance. He doesn't have the power to keep Canelo off. That's the biggest thing. He doesn't have the power to.
He got boxing though.
He can. What? Whoa!
I think he got boxing with his movement, with his jab.
If anybody was going to outbox him, I felt like it would have been Billy Joe Saunders, because Billy Joe Saunders had better foot movement. Caleb Plant has no upper body movement. Like I've watched.
Hey, y'all watching? Y'all stay tuned for next week's podcast. We're gonna deep dive into this one.
Yeah,
We're gonna deep dive into this one.
He has no upper body movement, and for me, if you're not gonna have any upper body movement, you got to beat him like Triple G did with power and pressure. And I don't think he has. Y'all didn't catch that. Y'all didn't correct me. Anyway,
I'm not getting into that again.
Hey, y'all gonna let that six of spade walk? Y'all gonna let that club walk? Okay. Anyway,
I don't got time for it.
Anyway, I'm just gonna simply say I think he has zero shot with Andre Ward in his corner. But you are right. I think Andre Ward is like, man, if this was 5 years ago, this would be my super fight. This would be my super fight, and so this is kind of how he lives through.
If anybody had a game plan, I think it'd be Andre Ward. That's my point. I think Caleb Plant athletic enough, and what's the reach? Because he's taller, longer.
He's taller, but I don't think Caleb Plant's reach is really that much of a game changer, and that's, I think, one of the reasons why I didn't like it. Let me look it up now. I think either way, Caleb Plant getting knocked out. It's probably gonna be to the bottom.
Hey,
it's gonna be to the bottom.
See that.
I was just gonna tell you like that, and hopefully it's a good fight, because we love boxing.
I'm hoping so.
And that's the best thing. Oh, he has a 74-inch reach. That's not bad. Not bad. I'm lying.
Okay.
I'm lying. It don't mean nothing, man. People been bigger, longer, and all that stuff. And Canelo.
I'm just saying he's more athletic out of it. He has one of the American styles.
I don't think
he has a style
athletic,
that
man.
I can see giving Canelo problems.
Man, I put it like this: he's not going to outbox Canelo. He's going to get pressured, and he's going to get battered and bruised, and he's going to probably take a knee at some point. I say around the 7th or 8th round, and then we're going to start to see, what we normally see.
We're going to see.
I don't really know the opposition.
We're going to dig into that next week, though, man. Y'all hold that thought. Y'all hold that thought.
Exactly. So, you know what I'm saying? But anyway,
you got 3.5 inches reach on.
What's that?
Yeah. So that's 3. 3.5 inches of reach on Canelo.
And that's okay. He got 3.5 inches of reach. That's fine. He's gonna be able to keep him away that much longer, you know. And then boom, he gonna.
The thing is, he won't win the decision. That's the thing. That's the real thing. So he don't hurt Canelo bad, which he probably won't.
Which he won't, because if Triple G didn't get the decision, he ain't getting the decision. But you know, all the same, we love boxing, and hopefully y'all love us.
Like we love y'all.
We love y'all.
We love y'all.
It's the Boxing Vibez TV, and we out of here, baby.